Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's different as I'll be showing you my massive Megazord diorama for my custom Power Rangers. For this project I have commissioned Innovation Model and he did an amazing job. Here's some of the designs that he made for it. We did base it off the once and always cockpit, but from the OG Zord design that was located in the head. This project has also been made possible with the generous help from Polymaker 3D. They have provided me with quite a bit of filaments to start the project, but I have severely underestimated the size of this diorama. So in the end I had to purchase quite a bit more afterwards to finish it. So in total I have used 37 to about 40 kgs of filaments. And I did use Polymaker Panchroma Silk Red, Gold, Silver, and Black. And then I also used some Polylite Gray and a lot of Black PETG. I have planned this project since January and I can't believe it's done now. There's been a lot of back and forth with Innovation Model in regards to ideas and modifications. So I really greatly appreciate his help for this project. So I started to build the first half, which is the main cockpit, I think around March. Using super glue on filaments is tricky since it does not immediately stick, so I had to use Instaset to instantly bond them. So main issue with that is that if I don't align it right, then it would just bond as is. And I think I made quite a few mistakes making this piece. For the small detailed pieces, I use Resin 1 Tough 74 resin in order to show more defined details. Here I'm just sanding it so it fits properly in the console. Now I'm just painting some of the details like lights and switches. Painting the small parts are extremely tedious and I should have just printed it in black resin. Here's the first look of the cockpit. So I did use the Panchroma Silver PLA for the inside to kind of mimic the once and always look. Probably one of the trickier parts of this project is the lights. I had to use a mix of camera lights and display LEDs in order to cover all of the translucent pieces, and I think it kind of worked out in the end. And here's with the lights on. Fast forward to July and I have been non-stop printing the pieces. I have been printing with two Bamboo P1S printers and it took about a month and a half to finish all of the helmet parts. The initial pieces were printed with 15% infill, but since I'm using quite a lot of filaments and it was getting pretty expensive, I had to cut down on the infill. So I think I got to about 5%, especially for the top parts of the horn, which I think worked out well since I needed it lighter up there, otherwise it might collapse. Another tricky part is that this did not come with a step-by-step manual because I'm the only one who's gonna be making it. So with all the pieces, I had to figure out which part goes where. And there was an instance where I already glued the part, but it was in the wrong spot. So I had to reprint the affected pieces again. Here I'm trying to put together the crown part, and I couldn't figure out why some parts don't fit. And I rechecked the print history, and I actually missed to print 4 plates full of files. So that pushed me back another 3 to 4 days of printing.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
That really pissed me off. Luckily I didn't get any big damages. There were just some dings here and there that I'm okay with. Another issue that I encountered when putting this together was that some of the pieces didn't fully align with one another because of different factors. One, I did not glue it perfectly, so it's kind of shifted a bit. And then two, there were some shifting in the pieces when they were printed, so they're not really fully aligned. Some might be bigger than the other. So I guess I was kind of lucky that the crown fell apart, so I can assemble it piece by piece and modify some parts. For the eyes, I initially wanted it removable so I can see the cockpit inside, but that just didn't happen, and it's just a little harder to do the files for it. So, but maybe we'll fix it next time. So I'm just painting the extra parts for the cockpit. I totally forgot about it. I tried manually painting the red background, but it was not red enough. So I had to airbrush that part, then manually applying light gray to do the white parts. So here I'm just applying some washes to show the details. Alright, so here's the two separate pieces side by side. Biggest thing now is to put the cockpit inside the head, which is a little tricky. I had to get some help doing it since it is way too heavy. I think the lights definitely made this thing pop. At first glance, I think it can pass off as a real set if you look at it. Alright, we successfully put them together. I was initially gonna end it here, but with all the hard work that I did, might as well go all the way. So I'll be painting some of the details to the helmet later on. here it is with the face on. First I'm applying some black base layer to make the silver pop, then I'm also adding some panel lining to make it look better. Here I am airbrushing the face as I had to match the silver paint to the ones I added to the crown. Alright, here's the completed diorama with the seats. I won't be using them though since the figures are not too well articulated to be in a sitting position. They just look weird in like a slouch sitting position, so I'm not gonna do it. But I'll have them standing up since I have other figures that I'm gonna put on the back, so they're not gonna fit anyways. So here's a couple more videos. The whole diorama is about 4 feet tall, and I think it's about 4 feet wide as well, so still looking for room for that one in my house, but we'll figure it out later on. If I'm bored enough, I'll do a stop motion of Tommy beating them up. Thanks again for watching, guys. See you in the next one.